So I saw The Flash finally. Did you get a chance to see it?
I did want to talk about DC though, DC and Marvel and comics in general.
You say you didn't?
So I did want to. I didn't see it. I didn't bother.
Okay.
I haven't gone to the movies in forever.
Well, no, it's on HBO Max or Max.
Oh shoot! Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
You have Max?
No, not anymore.
Okay. So The Flash. I'm gonna talk about the good things about it. Ezra Miller, I don't care how you feel about him as a person, he was great in that movie. Because in the times we did see him in as the Flash, in the other one or two movies he was in, he was the comic relief.
He also played the Flash in the TV show. He showed up for a cameo.
Yeah, he did. And he was like the goofy one. He was the comic relief and all that, Here, seeing as how it's his movie, he kind of has to be the straight man. He has to kind of be the serious one. So what they did was that is by him going in time and the whole movie, he's with the other Barry. He gets to see how annoying he really is. And man, was this Barry? He was even more annoying. He was kind of like, he was really a loser, irresponsible. I couldn't stand him. Like, he was just fucking annoying. But Ezra Miller was great in this movie. I love that they brought Michael Keaton back as Batman. Batman was just whooping straight ass. And he hasn't been Batman in a while because in this timeline, Gotham City is like one of the safest cities. So really, he has like no purpose.
He did his job.
So now, he has a purpose now that Barry comes back. What else was good? Action. It was a cool action. All right, let's just get right into it. The CGI was atrocious. Atrocious.
You're right. Atrocious.
Okay, I had to make sure that dude, there were just scenes where it was just the green screen just popped out so much, and then even when he be standing,
that's how Barry perceives the world when he's in the light force.
Shut up. Yeah, I when I was watching the movie, that's the first thing I thought about. I'm like, bro, because I went back to a scene in Ant-Man Quantumanium. Man, I am so close up.
All right. Let's.
I had to bag that back. Pause. But yeah, like I went back to the scene in Ant-Man Quantumanium where he was surrounded by like a bunch of other variants of Scott, and I'm like, bro, this looks perfect. You can't even tell the CGI. Meanwhile, it's only two berries, and it just looks horrible. And then the scene where when they're sitting there, he's seeing like all the other timelines of all the Batman and Supermans, and it's just straight up PlayStation 1 graphics. Not even PS2, PlayStation 1. It looks so horrible. I'm like, yo, Nicolas Cage is still it's talking about Star Wars. Was it which one? Rogue One? And they had what's his name? General Tarkin or whatever.
Oh, Governor Tarkin.
Homie is dead. And he looks like it looks like he just jumped up out of bed and decided to, you know what? I'm gonna do one more movie.
When he was in the movie, just a little more.
But here you go. You got Henry Cavill is still alive. Nicolas Cage is still alive, and they all look like PlayStation 1 graphics. It was horrible, and y'all spending $200 million. There's a scene where there's a bunch of babies. There's an explosion at the hospital. A bunch of babies are falling. Now I get they're babies. You can't really do much with babies. But bro, the animation just looks so horrible, man. Like all of it, the CGI was just terrible. And then the villain was General Zod, just to come back and do the same thing he did in Man of Steel. And even Michael Shannon was just like, it was kind of pointless for me to be there. I'm just there for the paycheck. Like even he said it was pointless for his role was pointless, and it was, And then of course, seeing as how it's dealing with time travel, you already know the main villain is going to be himself. So
yeah, of course.
So when we find that out, it's like that's done in like 2 minutes once you fully find out. So I was just like, those two things is what holds the movie back from being really good. It's enjoyable, but those two things kind of kills it. But there's a scene where Barry just realizes that his mom has to die in order for everything to be, back to being fine. So that scene where he kind of just, the fact that he has to go back and, change the events that leads up to his mom's death. That whole scene right there was just great. I felt that.
Well, the
So
one thing,
yeah, I give the movie a 7.5. If the CGI was a lot better and they had a better villain, it honestly I would have rated it even higher. So I'd
well,
say it's a watch.
the thing I have an issue with, it was like, so the whole thing of the Flashpoint paradox is him going in past, doing something selfish for himself, and realizing that he not only, because he did that one selfish thing, everyone around him, their lives were ruined. Everything changed. Because it's not Bruce Wayne that's alive, it's Thomas Wayne. And his Thomas
I love
Wayne's
that.
wife is the Joker. There are all these things that show the ramifications of meddling with time. And Batman in that world uses a gun because he's just fed up. And it's just like all these things.
That movie was fire.
Dark. And then you go to the live action one, which is like trying to play it safe and not trying to touch on any of these dark things and going like, oh, you just went to an alternate reality. You just went to a different world. You met a different Barry, because that's what it's talking about. It's all a different world. That's why it's not Clark Kent. It was Kara Kent.
Yeah.
And it is like they're, and what's funny,
fine as hell.
Everyone said they enjoyed her. Everyone said they liked her because they didn't do much with her, but they didn't like Ezra Miller. It's funny just how everyone's just like,
honestly,
okay, whatever.
The best part about her being in the movie was that Instagram post she put up with her in the suit. Like, man. But yeah, she was just kind of like whatever.
But
like she wasn't bad, but she wasn't great.
Comics book movies have worn out their welcome. Most of them have been not even half decent. And the thing is, if you start doing trash things long enough, people just give up and stop going. There's a reason why people have stopped going to see most Marvel movies. I mean, what is it? I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy is an outlier. Every Spider-Man movie always does ton. But if you look at what Disney has made, apart from Guardians of the Galaxy, not a single one has actually made, Disney's Marvel has not made money. The one that made tons of money was Spider-Man, which is owned by Sony.
Guardians.
So in the end,
Guardians almost grossed $1 billion.
It had like 800 million. 800 million, which is only making like a $100 million profit after like ads and everything. So it's still better than one of the some of the other things. And just like with the Disney streaming service, they've saturated the market so much, and everything is literally cut and paste the same. The problem is it's not even entertaining anymore. It's more preachy than anything. And the comic books, if you pick up a comic book like mainstream DC and Marvel, you would hate it. Every single character sounds exactly the same. Every character looks the same. Every character is bland.
You said current?
Current day comics. Every character is literally not bad. All the bad guys are good guys, and all the good guys are bad guys, but they all understand one another in the end. It's one of the dumbest things in current comic books. Like, that's why the mainstream comic book industry is dying. However, they're like the indie comics, which have come out of nowhere. Like, if you look at the Isom comic book, it came out of nowhere last year. It grossed $3 million in an ad fund. It was just fan funded.
Yeah.
$3 million.
That's why I like stuff like the Boys and Invincible. It's dark as shit, and like your heroes really are the bad guys and whatnot. Like, come on, man. I watched the Invincible. That what's her name? Adam Eve or whatever. Her little that was fire. Did you watch that? No, watch it, bro. It is so good. It is so good. But yeah, dude, like stuff like that, like the Amazon stuff, like has been better. Oh my god, Secret Invasion. Oh, you were right, bro. Like I was trying to get into. I'm like, yeah, Nick Fury got something, bro. It was another big CGI fight at the end, but it was between the hot chick with the dragons from Game of Thrones, Emilia Clarke, and another one of the Skrulls.
You only like that because of that one video that went viral.
Bro, I don't know why she kept saying that, but oh my god, I love it.
She was talking to Samuel L. Jackson, of course.
She was calling him daddy.
I think so.
I don't care, but man, I swear I'd wipe her up if she just called me daddy like that. But anyway, it was just the two of them had all the powers of every Avenger. So they just kept switching the power. So next thing you know, she had like Drax arm. She had turned into the Hulk. I'm like, yo, this is horrible.
The one thing I found funny is, why would you have Drax's arm?
Yeah.
Why? If you have the power of the Hulk, why would you take Drax's arm?
Yeah.
It's just like
it was just horrible, man. I couldn't believe I couldn't believe I was watching this week for week. And then come to find out, like, Rhodey has been a scroll this entire time. But at the same time, you think about it. If you think about it, did y'all just make that shit up, or did y'all have that plan the entire time? Yeah.
I've read some of the articles from the director, and they gave him a free pass to do whatever he wanted. So he literally just threw everything at the wall. And he literally says that the show was his dialogue to the audience. And now it's the audience's dialogue to review it. But he doesn't read reviews and doesn't care for hearing what the audience has to say. So then there's no dialogue.
That show sucked.
Yeah, I already knew it was. It's Disney. Disney put their hands on it.
Yeah, they're just through. I'm glad I don't pay for Disney Plus. Now I am excited for Loki. I can't wait to see what they do with season 2.
I'm not.
Oh, and then somebody was this was about the Flash. I was like reading the review because I'm just like, y'all got 64%. Like it's not horrible. Somebody was just like, oh, and then they had a pointless post-credit scene because it was just Barry talking to a drunk Aquaman about everything that happened. And I was just like, really pointless? Do you not see the majority of all the Marvel post-credit scenes? Like, did I really need to see the dog licking the collector while Howard the Duck is taking a drink, or watching Star-Lord eat a bowl of cereal, or watching the Avengers eat shawarma?
Yeah, at the very end.
It's like, now you're just hating. Now you're just hating. Come on.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's just like the post-credit scenes have always been pointless. They've never served a purpose. Like the very end credits, it's just a way to get people to sit there throughout the whole thing. That's it. Which I feel sorry for the theaters. They have a longer time to turn over the whole thing.
Oh my God. I'm so glad we didn't have too many Marvel movies.
Oh yeah.
Because trying to wait for them to that was annoying.
Yeah.
I used to love when we did have Guardians of the Galaxy playing there. I used to run up in there just for the opening scene. Yep.
Yeah. Just for the music.
Somebody be talking to me. Oh, hold on right quick. You getting ready to play Come and Get Your Love. Run right up in there.
Cool. It's nice seeing my comic book heroes come to life.
Then they got boring though. After a while, they got boring.
Copied and paste.
I was like, y'all really sat there. I'm thinking like, the story of how he lost his eye was badass, and it was because a cat scratched him. Y'all really used that as a joke? Like, that was just horrible.
That was anger inducing, because it's just like Samuel Jackson. Because yes, Nick Fury was originally white, and then you made him Sam Jackson and made him awesome. Only to make him weaker and weaker and weaker. And you go to a Secret Invasion where he's basically a wreck of a man, apologizing to everyone, not seeming cool at all. Like,
he is not apologizing to everyone. You haven't even watched it. Stop doing that.
One cool scene where he's like talking. I forgot who he was talking to. Rhodes, being all cool. He walks out of the building and then leans into the bench, tired, like. He lost all his stamina immediately in that moment. I was like, you look so cool walking out. And they had to add in this extra sheen just to show you're a defeated old man.
That extra sheen?
Yeah, that extra sheen. It was aggravating.
You think he'd have been well rested because homie was having a whole ass space vacation. Like, damn.
Yeah, and he was just like, because he walked out. Like, next scene, and then just sits in a bench and puts his head in his hands, takes off his hat, and it's just like, ugh. And I'm like, why? He old.
Samuel Jackson is 172.
Oh, you made him Nick Fury once again, and then took it away.
I don't know. I just thought it was just trash. It was ass.